Good morning. Well, I've got a trolley full of goodies to put out and about today. I've got a couple of characters to put out on my wonderful metal menagerie that I've got going on around the lake, and a nice selection of plants to start planting out as well. So let's start getting these characters out. So with the animals, it's not just a case of making them, it's also finding the right place for them. And I had to fix this post yesterday. As I was looking at that, I know exactly what the top of that needs. There we go, nice little squirrel. And I'm hoping just underneath here there's a large enough concrete slab for the next one. And there we go, got a wonderful heron. Or is it a crane? Nobody can ever tell. Oh well, let's get him fixed down. So there we go, he's all nice and secured down and settled the ground back down around him. I'm hoping he's going to be okay. I did notice that it just takes the slightest nudge and he starts wobbling. And he doesn't seem to stop. So I might end up having to loosen the base off to deliberately make the base wobble to take that shake out of him, because otherwise that's going to be a lot of stress on him. Oh well, we'll see how he gets on. I'm going to go and plant some plants. So all the plants I'm planting today were kindly donated by a customer last year. Unfortunately I didn't know what was happening at the time, so I took them all home and potted them up. But as I know that nothing's happening at the moment, so I'm going to get on and plant them. So this is only a small selection of them. I've got quite a few more at home as well. So I'm starting with this section here. So last year this wasn't doing too well, because not only did you have the willow tree overhanging, causing a lot of shade, you also had the neighbour's hedge there got incredibly tall, so that was shading out a lot of this area. So we've still got some things in here. We've got a lot of yellow flag iris, we've got a few ferns, we've got some purple loosestrife, and we've got some dropwort. So I'm thinking a few of these goldenrod should look good in here. So goldenrod is a common garden plant, grows up to about that tall with a fluffy yellow flower. Clump forming, and all you do end of the year just cut it down and it will come back up next year, so that should look good along here. So they weren't the easiest to plant, because that is thick, wet, sticky clay all around the edge of the lake here. Good for a lake, not so easy to plant in, but that should give some nice variety along the edge here. So I'm going to go up to the picnic table area now and plant the rest of these. Okay, so we're on to this section here. Now you'd be forgiven if you looked at this and said there's nothing but weeds. There is more going on than you actually realise. So we've got a big clump of daylilies here, and there's a big clump of daylilies there. Then we've got various clumps of the pendula sedge, so those flower spikes that are coming up now should carry on growing and should hang down quite far, so they'll look good soon. Then on the floor here, this red stuff that's coming up, the name of it escapes me at the moment. It is part of the loosestrife family. Its particular variety is firecracker, but I can't remember what it is, so I'll put the label at the bottom of the screen. And then in this section there isn't much going on, but we have got a small variegated grass here, and then there's this leaf here which is a trading plant. It's growing all over the floor here, and that has a yellow strawberry like flower on it. So there are some things in here already, but these are what I'm going to plant. So obviously we've already got the goldenrod, same as down there. Now again, I'm going to have to find the name of that one. So that has a blue cornflower type flower on it. Now it's quite a good one because it does smother what's around it. So I can put that in that section there, and it should make its own clearing, so that should be okay. And then in here we have got Crocosmia. Now I believe it's Montbretia is the common variety of Crocosmia, and this is Lucifer. So the common variety grows about that tall with an orange flower. Lucifer grows about that tall with a red flower. So that should be really impressive to see. So yeah, let's get some of these in here. Now I'm going to start by splitting the clump of Crocosmia there. Now Crocosmia grows from corms like this, so it's effectively about like a bulb. So with that clump you can just literally shove a spade through it anywhere, and you might lose one or two, but it'll be absolutely fine split. No wonder there's nothing growing in this section. It's just layers and layers of concrete. I don't get what on earth is going on here. I'm going to try and dig some of this out and put some soil in here instead. Right, so that's the trolley empty of plants. I'll carry on with this when I bring some more in from home. But there's a couple more plants that I spotted that I need to know the names of. So I've got the common reed coming up here, but at the bottom of it we have this trailing plant here which has a yellow flower on it. I believe it's technically a weed, but I'll call it wildflower, then it can stay. Then we also have this one here, which is only small. If I'm correct, that grows up to about that tall, which again I don't know what it's called, but I'm hoping there's going to be more of that, and that's just the first one to come up. Also spotted down here, we have some of yellow vetch coming up here, and there's a few more bits in here as well. So that creeps across the ground, has a yellow pea-like flower on it. And then down in this clump of goldenrod, as I was putting it in, I also noticed there's an Aquilegia coming up as well. So there's plenty of plants going in. So yeah. Right, I shall pick this up when I've got some more. So it's always nice when you start looking properly at the plants, because you suddenly realise that there's a lot more going on than you first think. I had this clump of sedge here, and then I realised that there's actually a astilbe coming up through it. So I started taking some of the sedge out to give the astilbe more space. And then while I was down at the bottom here, I spotted we got a creeping jenny going across here as well. So yeah, brilliant. So I've got one last tray of plants to go in for this video. So this is a tray of Persicara, so nice green leaves like that, then you get a flower spike that comes up like that, and that will turn pink. So yeah, I'm going to put those in here just to try and liven this section up. Now the hedge has been cut, this is starting to green up, which is good. But yeah, they do love moisture, which is great. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this without sinking, so it's going to be interesting. Right. Okay, well that's those planted. If you were cringing at the way I was planting them, so was I. But this ground is so boggy, there's just no way to work with it really. But they're in, they're settled, they should spread quite happily. We've still got the elephant's ears that I planted earlier in the year, and the ferns are starting to come up that were already in here. So this should look a little bit better soon. Now hopefully when it dries out a bit more, I'll be able to do some more to it. But at the moment it's just a case of keep off and wait for it to dry out further. So yes, Right, well I shall end this video here. If you enjoyed it, do subscribe, and I shall see you later. You try and make the place look nice by putting wood chip around, and the chickens just kick it everywhere. No, it's supposed to be in the flower bed, not on the path. You know, I've got a nice chicken pie recipe. If you carry on like that,